Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't even
What's going on, everybody? We're finna get ready to get this show started. We are going to be talking roster cuts, since a lot of cuts have been made, and we got some players that made the team and a few players that didn't make the team. And then, of course, we have the practice squad has been announced as well. So we're definitely going to talk about all of that and more. And we definitely make sure to thank y'all for tuning in tonight. And we're going to go ahead and get the show started in just a bit. Again, make sure y'all share the show out with everybody. Make sure you share the show out with everybody in the Titan Network, or even anybody that's, just a football fan in general. Make sure you let them know where they can come and get the best Titans content there is. And we are going to go ahead and get this show started. We're going to get this show started in less than 60 seconds. Let's go.
hope you can still go. I never ran, should've known, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody?
Good evening, good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into another edition of TNT Tonight. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a very fun episode for you tonight as the preseason has come to an end, and we're a little under 10 days away from the kickoff of the NFL season. Of course, we're 8 days away from kickoff. We're a week from tomorrow away from the very first game of the season. Lions and Chiefs next Thursday night will kick off the 2023 NFL season. I am excited about that. I'm glad football is back. Definitely make sure y'all go ahead and share this show out. And definitely make sure y'all follow, whether it's on Facebook at TNT Enforcers and the Titans of Truth official page, whether it's on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth, and then also on X, also formerly known as Twitter, at TNT Blue Enforcer. So definitely make sure y'all follow the channels there. And of course, we are also right now live on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts as well. And we're definitely going to, have hopefully some people be listening there. If you can't watch, if you're at work or something like that, you got to listen. You go ahead and listen there as well. And hopefully, if you're on YouTube, for my YouTubers, definitely make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Definitely hit that like button. Everybody come on in here and smash that like button. I want everybody that's listening right now to smash that like button and encourage others to do the same. We need to get about 40, 50 likes on here. Let's get that up. And then also, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel on YouTube as well, Titans in Truth. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so that way you will know anytime that we go live, because we're going to have a lot of stuff coming up. Probably going to be trying to slowly debut a new show coming up with college football season about to begin as well. So we're definitely going to talk about that. And of course, help me learn my knowledge of college football, little by little, college basketball as well, and things like that, going around the state of Tennessee, talking Tennessee Vols, Memphis Tigers, maybe sprinkle in a little Vanderbilt or MTSU in there as well. And so we got a lot of things coming up with that. So definitely make sure y'all stay tuned for that and let everybody know where they could go. So appreciate everybody coming on in here and tuning into the show. And we're going to go ahead and get kicking because I know what everybody wants to talk about. And I know we got a few people in here already. We got AZ Mick, what's up? Lou Man 007 in the building as always. Tremaine. We got Titan Foss. We got Herman, Big Herm, down there in the Lone Star State. We got Gino out there in Vegas. We got my boy B Payne in the building. Blue Fire, you got that right. I definitely appreciate that. Pig Wickle, as usual. Rocky Yit. We got a lot of our A1 day ones in here. And then, of course, we have some other people that are joining in, like Jay Bryant. What's going on? Welcome, everybody, into the show. So let's just go ahead and get right into some of the headlines that we had happening. Before we get to roster cuts, first thing that we had happening this week, Treylon Burks. He returned to practice on Monday. He did some individual drills. I believe that was Tuesday. No, it was Monday. I'm sorry. He returned to practice, did a lot of individual work and everything. Now, I don't know if he did teamwork, but he was fully participant in practice, did not have a brace on or anything like that. Just 12 days from the injury that occurred in Minnesota. So definitely glad to see him back on the practice field. He looks fine. He looks good. Definitely practiced at that time. It was 10 days ahead of the game against New Orleans. And, of course, tomorrow they're going to be on the practice field. I know they're beginning to prepare for New Orleans already. And so Titans South says Titans could possibly play in Vegas. For the Super Bowl, absolutely. That could definitely happen. And if that does, I may have to make a trip. I might have to make a trip out to Vegas. I definitely want to come back. I do. But Burks returning to practice is a great, great sign of things to come. Because if you get Burks back, along with DeAndre Hopkins, you got Chig, Derrick Henry in the backfield, it's going to be pretty hard to figure out where you're going to defend. So that's not going to be a very easy task for any defense to have to deal with. So he could be definitely on par to return and be ready for week 1. And, if he's ready for week 1, that does nothing but bode well for us. I see we got Ian. What's up, Blue Enforcer? What's going on with you, Ian? And B Pay said we are Vegas bound. Hey, we definitely go see. We're definitely gonna see. I like to play a few games first before we get ahead of ourselves a little bit. Although I am probably gonna put maybe a $5 to $10 bet the Titans win the Super Bowl. And I might put about a $5 bet that we get to the Super Bowl and win. And maybe a $10 bet that we at least win the AFC. So I might do a little something like that. I'm already planning on putting 50 down on the Titans on BetMGM to win the AFC South, because I do believe the Tennessee Titans will win the AFC South. And, everybody is jumping all over. Everybody's jumping all over Jacksonville right now. But the division can be had. The division can definitely be had. So Ian said I'm placing 50 on the over of 7.5 wins. Ooh, that's not a bad bet either. And so that's something that, we're definitely going to be adding to the show because I'm going to be in a fantasy league. We're definitely going to be adding some fantasy into the mix, as well as a couple of good prop bets that I might be looking at as well that you might want to take a look at. Titan South says week 1 prediction. That'll be next week. I'm going to go ahead and tease it a little bit. We will be talking Saints next week. Definitely giving season predictions as well. And I will probably have at least one guest on. One of my peeps who is here in Memphis, but he is a big Saints fan. Start up his own podcast and everything. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So we'll definitely have a Saints perspective coming on as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we're definitely going to go into that. But Burks return to practice was just a big, big deal. I am glad that he made the return. Looked good. We'll definitely see what's going on, as the week continues to progress, as he gets more, does he practice more and more, get into the team period? Is he fully participant or limited? I could probably see him being limited a couple of times, but we're definitely going to find that out. But Burks being back in practice is an excellent sign. Another thing that happened, of course, after the preseason finale, Michael Badgley kind of had a pretty rough go in that last preseason game against the Patriots. Even though he made kicks, except for one, he doinked a couple off the upright, and then clearly missed a 39-yarder, which led to him being cut. And also the Titans decided to trade with the Patriots for kicker Nick Folk. And all they did was give up a 2025 7th-round pick to the Patriots for Nick Folk. These are good. These Arizona Arnold Palmers are good. So we're going to get Nick Folk because they drafted a kicker, I believe Chad Ryland, in the 4th round of the draft, and they were leaning towards going with him anyway. And right now, Nick Folk is only going to count about $2.2 million against the cap, which is about a full million less than what Randy Bullock would have accounted for. And, he has a little bit better of a leg on that. So, he was, I believe, 32 of 37 on kicks last year. And then he was also, of course, 4 of 5 from beyond 50 last year. So he could kick beyond 50. And the Titans did get another kicker, which we are going to go into a little bit later. So as time goes on, I want y'all to give me your thoughts about Nick Foles being traded to the Titans. And also, are y'all glad Burks is back on the practice field ahead of week 1? So definitely let me know what we're looking at. So we're definitely going to keep going with that. But let's get to what everybody came here to talk about. And that is the roster cuts. The 53-man roster is set. And look at the keywords I got at the bottom. For now. Those are the keywords. For now. Because anything can happen. It can all change just like that at the snap of a finger. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the rosters the way it is currently constructed. We are going to start on the offensive side of the ball. And while I'm doing this, I want y'all to give me your thoughts on the roster. What do you think? What were your surprises? We'll talk about that after we talk about the roster and the practice squad as well. So we're definitely going to talk about that. Goku says Titan Super Bowl odds are like plus 10,000. I did see that, and I said that's why I said if you put $5 down, doesn't really hurt to do that. It's not really a bad thing if you do, because for example, if I do it, 5,000. If you put $5 down, I think you can win like $200 something, and you only put $5 in. So that's something that I'm definitely paying attention to. So for example, if I put $10 down, I win $1,000 if the Titans win the Super Bowl. If I put $5 down, I win $500 if the Titans win the Super Bowl. And that's putting down just $5 on the Tennessee Titans to win the Super Bowl. So I'm definitely taking that bet. $5, $10, not really that bad of a deal. I'll take it. And if they don't, hey, at worst, it's a meal that I ain't got that I can cook some at home. That's a meal. Let's see. Ian Talley, I think Titans getting Folk was short term. Getting K York is the long term. We're definitely going to find out about that. I said, you said our new kicker, Nick Foles. I said Nick Folk, not Foles. Not Foles. Lou Man says he's happy for Burks. I'm glad he's back too. Ms. Mims, glad to have you in here with us. But let's go ahead and go over the roster. And we're going to start with the offensive side of the ball. As you see, Titans kept 3 quarterbacks, of course. No surprise there, with Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, Will Levis, Malik being number 2, Levis being number 3. At running back, they kept 3 running backs. Derrick Henry, of course. You got Tajay Spears, who's very impressive, and Julius Chestnut as well. Jonathan Ward was looking pretty decent, but he got hurt, and they came to an injury settlement for him, so he's not going to be on the team. They kept 3 running backs. And so next thing you know, they keep 7 wide receivers with, of course, D-Hop. You got Treylon Burks, Kyle Phillips, who will go to IR tomorrow and will miss at least the first 4 games. So that opens up another spot. Chris Moore, Nick Westbrook-Akina, I always say his name wrong. Nick Westbrook-Akine. Kearis Jackson making it. He might be the punt returner, at least to start off. And then Colton Dowell is the 7th wide receiver, which I was definitely surprised he made the team because I didn't really see a lot from him that showed me anything. The Titans kept 3 tight ends: Chig Okonkwo, Trayvon Westco, who I forgot was on the team, and then Josh Wiley, who struggled, but he's a rookie, so they want to give him every opportunity to develop. And then, last but not least, on the offensive line, of course, your starting 5: Andre Dillard, Peter Skoronski, Aaron Brewer, Daniel Brunskill, Chris Hubbard. Also adding Dylan Radunz, Justin Murray, who came over from Arizona, Jalen Duncan, and Xavier Newman Johnson, who I was definitely surprised ended up on the roster. A name that you do not see, but you see him at the bottom, of course. Nicholas Petit-Frere is there. So we have 9 offensive linemen. When Nicholas Petit-Frere finishes with his 6-game suspension, that'll be 10, unless they make a move. But Nicholas Petit-Frere does not count against the 53 because he will be suspended the first 6 games. And another name you also notice is Corey Levin. Originally, he made the 53-man roster, but he was, of course, released today. And I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. But that is the offensive side of the ball as far as who made the team. Now to the defensive side of the ball as far as who made the team. Of course, 5 defensive linemen with Big Jeff, Danico Autry, Tier Tart, Jaden Peavy, and Naquan Jones making the 5 defensive linemen. We got 5 inside linebackers with Azeez Al-Shaair, who looked really good. We got Dr. Gibby, Jack Gibbons, Monty Rice, who I did not think was going to make this team because he didn't play at all, Luke Gifford, and Otis Reese IV. OTIS. I was surprised he made the roster because I know Vrabel went crazy talking about him, but I didn't even notice he was on the team until I saw that he made it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. 4 outside linebackers with Harold Landry, Arden Key, Rashard Weaver, and Caleb Murphy. I am glad he made the team. And at safety, of course, we got Kevin Byard. We got the Mayor of Murfreesboro, Kevin Byard, Amani Hooker, Elijah Bowden, Mike Brown, and Matthew Jackson, who I guess can play safety and linebacker. Wasn't familiar with those last 2 at all. But then at corner, you got Christian Fulton, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Roger McCreary, Trey Avery, Anthony Kendall, who was a surprise, and another name that just got mentioned, Kendall Vilder. And I got the word claim next to it because today after the waiver wire was open, the Titans claimed him off of the Bears roster. And so he automatically goes onto the 53-man roster, hence why Corey Levin was cut to make room for him. And then, of course, another name you notice, Caleb Farley is on the PUP list. He will miss at least the first 4 games. Of course, he's recovering from back injury, and he's dealing with some personal issues, of course, with the passing of his dad in that house fire that happened back in North Carolina, which, of course, has been confirmed. It was a gas leak that caused that fire. Again, prayers to the Caleb Farley and his family during this very troubling time. And then, of course, special teams, Nick Folk. Titan Fox, I said that right, Nick Folk. And Ryan Stonehouse, the punter. And then, of course, Morgan Cox, our long snapper. So that is our 53-man roster as of now. And then you have the practice squad that was also announced. And as you can see, the first name on the list, a guy signed to the practice squad from the Browns, Cade York. a kicker who was picked in the, I believe, the 5th round last year out of Penn State by the Browns. Had some struggles early on in his rookie year, and they decided to cut him, and the Titans scooped him up. He could be our long-term solution if he could get some things straightened out. Our long-time practice squad journeyman, Mason Kinsey, defensive lineman Kyle Petco, who I thought was going to make the team, Tommy Rush, outside linebacker, Armani Marsh, and Eric Guerra, 2 corners. I thought Eric Guerra was going to make the team. We got Kevin Rader at tight end, Trayshawn Harrison at wide receiver, Sammy O, because I can never get his name right, Sammy Okunwanu. I never can get his name right. That's why I say Sammy O. And then, of course, J. Ojukwu. And then you got Thomas Odukoya. He, of course, is part of that international players program. He is an exception. And because he came from that international program, he does not actually count as one of the 16 practice squatters, so we can have 17 guys instead of 16. Of course, also Chance Campbell back on the practice squad, Shaheem Carter, Jordan Roos, the offensive lineman, defensive lineman TK McClendon, offensive lineman Andrew Rutchich, and defensive lineman Michael Dwumfor are on the practice squad. And then, of course, as you see, Kendall Vilder was claimed by the Bears. He's on the 53-man roster. And so that is our 53-man roster and our practice squad for the moment. Now, remember, again, this could change in the blink of an eye. You know, guys like, and for example, guys like Xavier Newton-Johnson, guys like Colton Dowell, guys like Anthony Kendall or Mike Brown or Matthew Jackson, Otis Reese. Those guys, they might want to watch themselves. They might not want to get too happy about making the team because we've seen it all the time where you're on the team one moment and you're cut the next. That can definitely happen. So I want to get some of your thoughts. I want to get some of your thoughts on the roster. Were there some surprises that you guys didn't expect or did expect on the 53-man roster? I'm going to start with mine. I honestly thought Eric Guerra was going to make the team originally because I thought he showed up in a lot of plays, especially in the run game, had some good coverage skills, a guy that could play special teams, could be a punt returner. But I think it's the fact that he's 5'9", a bit undersized. That's where I think why he did not make the team initially, but he is on the practice squad. Another surprise, the Titans keeping 7 receivers. Was not expecting that. I thought they might keep 6, but I did not expect that they were going to keep 7. And, you know, I mean, Kearis Jackson really made a case for himself because he had a couple of decent punt returns, and he also showed he could do something in the receiving game as well. So he could be a guy that maybe carves out a role in special teams on this team, and that's where a lot of guys can carve out their role, definitely. Colton Dowell, I was definitely surprised he made the team because, I mean, he had a moment or two. I know he's a hometown kid, went to UT Martin from Lebanon, Tennessee, but, I mean, just because he's a local kid, that doesn't mean he has to automatically be on the roster. Earn your spot. Now, Colton Dowell's going to get a chance, but I would watch out. He might be one of those guys that that could be on a short leash as far as if somebody else comes along, because believe me, I looked at a lot of guys that got cut. There were a lot of good players on other teams that got cut. A lot of good players on other teams that are looking at jobs right now. So I can guarantee you this 53-man roster is going to continue to change. Some of these guys that are on the roster right now will not be week one players come this time next week going to New Orleans. That I can assure you. Now, as Titan Fox said, they probably kept 7 with Phillips on IR and re-signed somebody from the practice squad. That's why they use that position on an unknown corner. Now, Kendall Vilder is a 5th-round pick in 2020. He started some games for the Bears last year, so he's not really unknown. But I think with Phillips going to IR, that's probably the reason for that. Definitely. So let's take a look at some of your questions as we continue to keep going. I know there's a lot of people. Colton Dowell is the new Mason Kinsey. I can definitely tell with that. Lou Man happy for Burks. Goku says Traylon about to have a monster year, about to be called 1K Trey. I don't mind that. Miss Mims happy Colton Dowell is a Titan. AZ Mix says I like Colton. What if Colton surprises us? We gonna see. I call him Puff the Magic Receiver. I mean, Lou Man says, I like Kearis Jackson. Gino said, could always keep 3 quarterbacks. The backup quarterback should be the most competitive spot on the team. I agree. Let's see. Ty Fox says, sad about Eric Garrett, Chance Campbell. Glad they're still on the practice squad. Yeah, and remember, the thing about the practice squad is they could get picked up by anybody. This man said he get rid of Petit Ferrer from the team, period. I would strongly disagree with that, and this is why. You need depth on the offensive line when he comes back from suspension, and he's going to figure, unless Chris Hubbard is playing extremely well, he might get that first crack at being back as the right tackle when he comes back from suspension. We'll see. Caleb Murphy's a beast. I'm glad he definitely made the team. Did the kicker used to play for the Jets? Nick Folk, no, he did not play for the Jets. Neither did Cade York. His name is York. He came out of Penn State, played for the Cleveland Browns. So that's what happened. That's true. Typhon says York might not last on the practice squad, given teams looking for a kicker. And here's the thing about it. He didn't exactly have a great showing in Cleveland, so that's why. But you're right. He's a guy that definitely could be somebody that somebody scoops up. So that kicker thing, we better keep a watch for. Time Fox says, Chance Campbell, Guerra, and only keeping 3 tight ends are the biggest surprises. I mean, I agree. Mike Brown, Matt Jackson, and Otis Reese making the team were big surprises for me. But I think those are 3 guys that I think could be on the chopping block. A guy that guys that be like, Ma, I can't believe it. I made the team. I'm a Titan. And then 2 days later, they cut me, Mom. So, that's, what we're looking at right now as far as I'm concerned with that. Titan South says, floor is 9-8, ceiling 13-4. Rocky Hit sticking with 12-5. Now, next week, I'm going to, give my season predictions and things like that. And we're going to talk New Orleans Saints. So we're definitely going to talk about that on next week's show. And I'm going to have a guest on there. And Ms. Mims is really all over Nicholas Petit Ferrer, saying he was terrible. Now, was he great? Absolutely not. But he didn't, he wasn't the worst guy on the team. That would be the other side, and that would be the Dud Dennis Daly. he took the cake as the worst. So it is what it is. But, that's kind of what happened. If I said cold-blooded, cut Basic Kizzy on his birthday. But he's back on the practice squad. So that's kind of what happened with that. But, I think the Titans did a fairly decent job as far as putting their roster together and everything with that. Again, this is for now, because anything can happen. A move could get made immediately. And just saw, of course, Nick Folk will wear number 6. And I don't know. That 6 has been a cursed number since Brett Kern has been gone. He's the third guy that's worn number 6. The last 2 guys that wore number 6 ain't on the team no more. So that's going to be a pretty interesting turn of events. And then, of course, I saw Racey McMath on the Colts practice squad. So good luck to the Colts on that one. Just try to see if there's any new news that came out. I know Kyle Phillips is going to go to IR tomorrow officially. And then, of course, they're going to make sure Cade York is on the practice squad. GM Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel are going to speak to the media tomorrow. So they're going to speak to the media. Definitely going to and everything. And so we're definitely going to find out about that. But we're definitely going to see, how this roster turns out. We're going to see if Nick Folk can actually make some kicks and everything. We're definitely going to find out. Again, here is the 53-man roster. Here is the offense. Then we got the defense. And then we got defense and special teams, rather. And then we have the practice squad. And so that is our 53-man roster as of right now. So everything. Yes, I did notice, King Isaac, the Colts tried to get Jalen Waddle in exchange for Jonathan Taylor, of course. Yesterday, I believe, was a deadline. They tried to see if Jonathan Taylor could seek a trade, and it looked like there were some teams that were interested, but nothing never really materialized. And he's on the PUP list, so he's going to miss at least the first 4 games for the Indianapolis Colts. And so that's going to be very interesting. Anthony Richardson will be the starting quarterback for the Colts. I believe C.J. Stroud is the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all of that goes as well. TNT tonight, continuing on here again. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Go ahead, everybody. I see we got about 29, 30 people in here. Everybody that's in here, please hit that like button and go ahead and help me out with that. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe channel and ring that bell. Hit all for your notifications. So that way you will know when I am live. And so that way you can join in on the fun. And we're, of course, live on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts as well. So definitely check me out and make sure y'all follow on Facebook, on X, a.k.a. Twitter, and Instagram as well. But last but not least, something I wanted to kind of touch on, and I do like that, the Two-Tone Terrors. You got the Music City Monsters, definitely with that. Nashville Nasty, Music City Mayhem. So definitely like the sound of that and everything. So I like the way this defense is definitely shaping out, and I am getting very, very excited. You gotta love Miss Mims. She's like, want to see the Titans win all the game, no losing streak. But gotta be honest, Miss Mims, hate to disappoint you. I don't expect the Titans to go 17-0. Now, if they do, that would be awesome. But you know there's going to be a loss here and there, but it depends on how they rebound from that. That is going to be the key to all of that, is how do they respond? That is going to be the ultimate question. So if they can respond well, then, the Tennessee Titans could definitely be a team to be reckoned with. They could be a team that could be trouble for a lot of other teams around the league. So we're definitely going to be enjoying everything. We're going to enjoy the entire season. I'm looking forward to it. We're a little over a week away from the start of the football season, and then we're going to be we're a little under 7 days away. We're close to 7 days away from the season, a week from tomorrow, and we are about a little over 10 days away from the Titans season kicking off. And I got to tell you, I am looking forward to that. I am excited. I am ready. And we are going to have one heck of a good time. So week one on its way and everything. So just going to make a few announcements before we get ready to call it a day. And that is number one. I want to say thank you to everybody for helping me hit 1,300 subscribers. We're definitely going to have more. We're going to definitely get more. I want to see if we can get to 1,500 subscribers before the season starts. So definitely help me out with that. Definitely help me get to that point. The Titans fan cruise is happening. Still, make sure you get your deposits in on that. February 29th through the 4th of March. Definitely get some information on that. TitansFanCruise.com is where you can go to get more information on that. Also, the Truth League Report is going to debut this week. Definitely going to do a few recordings, basically giving my predictions on each of the divisions. And things like that. Who's going to win their divisions? I will try to see what records I give each of the divisions. So definitely get ready for that. And then, of course, next Monday will be the season debut of the Truth League Report as we go over games that happen, my top 5 games, my top 5 ballers. We're definitely going to talk about that. And last but not least, Down to the T is going to be coming very, very soon. We're definitely going to be talking about the Vols. We're going to be talking about the Tigers. We're also going to be at some point starting to talk about the Grizzlies a little bit, the Preds, but try to get in on that. So that's going to be coming within the next few weeks as well. And then here's the schedule for the Tennessee Titans. I will give my prediction next week at what the of the win-loss record for the Tennessee Titans. We're definitely going to go into all of that. So we're definitely going to have a whole bunch of fun with that. But let's see. I'm going to get a few more comments, and then we're going to get ready and get out of here. Now, yes, that was based on a true story. They were undefeated, but we'll see if this team, can get anywhere close to that. I think 12-5 could definitely be the mark. 11-6, I could definitely see that. I see we have a Chiefs fan in here trolling in here, but I welcome all fans. Welcome in here, Mr. Hefe. I appreciate that. Say how you feel, TV. One of my fraternity brothers, Blue Phi, on that. But everybody, I'm going to say I think that's going to call it a show. I didn't see anything new come across Twitter or come across the dials just yet, unless I'm mistaken. with everything, but we're definitely going to see if there's any new news that does come out. We will definitely talk about it, and we will definitely report on that as well. So definitely stay tuned for that, and we will definitely have some fun on that. I am going to put my rosters up on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook as well. And everybody, looks like we had a pretty good time. And like Titan Fox said, hit that like button. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you are new to the show. Definitely make sure y'all hit those buttons so then that way you are a part of the show as well. And everybody, I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning into the show. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. I'm definitely going to be talking about college football coming up. Ooh. Phil Madden says, shut your pie hole. Ooh, I really don't have anybody to tell anybody to shut their pie hole on. Although, I like to say shut your pie hole to all those doubters out there who are going gun-ho over the Jaguars, who are going all crazy on the Jaguars, just think the Jaguars are just going to run away with this division. And so tell them to shut your pie hole because I don't think they're going to win the division. So everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to TNT tonight. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and y'all have a great rest of the night, a great rest of your Wednesday. Next week, we're talking week 1. It's going to be game week, and we are going to have a great, great time. Holla at your boy. Tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.